Alright, today's topic is going to focus on mirrors. Inevitably you're going to go down riding a dual sport or adventure bike, and they make different flexible mirrors. I will say these are not the originals. I don't even know if the ones I got on the bike were original KLR mirrors. I'm not really sure. First week I went down some soft stuff and it blew out the glass out of one. Brother-in-law gave me these. I think they're off of a Honda or something. And yeah, as you can see, they're awful short. I don't really like them, although they were fairly stable. They definitely work, but they needed a better solution. So in the adventure motorcycle market, dual sport market, there are varying ones that have sort of a flexible piece here that are designed that if you wreck, they sort of fold in. I always sort of like some of the ones on some of the KTMs that you can kind of fold in more of the dual sport than the adventure bike themselves. But a lot of them on there that I'd seen use a very similar ball joint attachment like the ram mount. And so quick little research, and I'll show you what I found. Alright, these are from a company called Doubletake. I'll put the links down below. I'm just installing this now. If you're watching this, it's probably part of a further on review. The mirrors are not adjustable inside, but I don't know if you can see yourself in there. Hello. They are a good size, and so far seems to be very good quality at first glance. It's sort of a reinforced composite plastic material that they use it in, probably a nylon reinforcement. And then the main thing is at the end here, you can see they use a ball joint. In fact, the actual ram mounts are what they have designed this around and what you can order from them if you don't already own some ram mounts. So you've got a short and a long arm that you can attach these to, so you have a little bit of adjustment to see how high you want them off the bike. And then the main thing is they come with this attachment here that is going to screw down into your standard side mirror socket. And that'll allow you to attach the ram mount and the mirror. The neat thing is, if you are going to fold these mirrors down or you're going to take them off during a dirt section where you're not needing the mirrors, these can be used for any of the other ram mount accessories, like my cell phone mount, GoPro mount, all that sort of thing. So it serves sort of a dual purpose. I can take the mirrors off, throw a few more cameras on during certain sections. We're going to play with them. Now, a very common style is going to have the end post is going to have the threads, and then once you get that threaded on and you get it in a position, you use this jam nut to tighten that against the mount here. The ones that are the ram mount accessories, don't really have anything squared off or to put pliers on or anything like that. I don't really want to mar this up by getting it super tight, so I'm just going to hit it with a little thread locker just to ensure that these don't loosen up over time. Especially the nature of adventure bikes and dual sports, they were going to be on rough roads. The KLR is definitely not the plushest ride. We haven't quite got to suspension upgrades yet. Alright guys, well, we're coming to the conclusion of 1.0 version of the KLR, and so not quite 20,000 miles with these guys on here. These are the Doubletake mirrors. What you saw was just me putting it on the bike, was a couple years ago now. And these guys have performed flawlessly. They're glass-filled nylon. You can see kind of the abuse that they can take. Now they will warranty this section. If you bust the glass out, you can buy replacement glass, and as you can kind of see, it's like a blind spot mirror that's a little bit of a convex to it, so you can actually see a little bit more than just a straight flat mirror. I've used it as a shaving mirror, you name it, but they won't warranty the glass if you bust that out, and I've never had that issue. I think the only weak point to the Doubletake mirrors here is actually the ram system itself. And we'll move over to the bike and show you, but I'm thinking about getting the larger adventure mirrors, which would mean a little bit longer ram arm that you call it here, and then the little bit shorter piece that comes off the glass itself. So this is adding a lot of fulcrum from the mirror there, and maybe that won't have to tighten them down as much, but we'll move to the bike real quick. Alright, so what you're looking at is the ram ball mount that goes in your just threaded piece here where your normal stock mirrors go, and this is a slightly rubberized ball that arm will clamp onto. Now this is a ram product, and as you can see, when you really clamp it down so that it won't move around that much on you, you know, it really compresses that rubber. This will bounce back somewhat. I'll move you over to the left side that I took off yesterday. So here's the left side I took off yesterday. It looked just as bad as the one that you just saw. However, the rubber is slightly bouncing back, you know, starting to show its age a little bit. But that's I guess the only fault of the Doubletake mirrors is the ram system and this ball here. So if you don't get them super cranked down tight, you know, they will move a little bit on you. But if you get them down where you want them, then that's great. It's fine if you want to have a permanent position. The thing that makes these a great asset is that you can fold them in, you can take them off. I can use that ram ball mount to mount a GoPro or any of the other ram accessories, a cell phone holder, you name it. So it really makes it pretty versatile. If I'm in the mountains and I don't need mirrors, that's great. One of the things I actually like doing, especially if I'm riding in a group, is I'll leave one mirror sort of normal and I'll turn the other one at kind of a 45 sideways, and that way when I'm standing on my pegs I can actually look down and I can see, just to make sure there's a headlight behind me, make sure whoever's behind me is still following me without actually having to turn around. It's pretty easy. I mean, you're blowing down easy gravel sections and you just need to glance back and you can see a headlight in your mirror. You know the guy behind you is good to go, and as long as you're looking out for each other, then you should be fine as a group. So yes, I really like the Doubletake mirrors. I think the only weakness again is the ram mount, but it's not, I don't know, it's not the worst thing in the world that you have to deal with, but just be aware you will have to crank these guys down. And I'll look forward to seeing if the adventure mirrors fix a little bit of that with a longer arm section and a shorter ball that comes off the bigger glass. But yeah, moving forward, Doubletake mirrors, one of the best investments you can do if you guys are going to be off-roading. I went through 2 or 3 sets of stock mirrors. That was a KLR mirror. We ended up putting some mirror off a Honda on there for a while. I mean, it literally takes one little branch, one little quick dump, even in soft dirt, and it blows out your mirrors. So these guys have gone through hell and back so far on the KLR and have survived and look great. So highly recommended. A little bit expensive, but definitely worth it. Take care, guys.